Hello, you can take a peek on my messy kitchen over there. I just got in the door. I worked out this morning for the first time in a while, and I gotta tell you guys, I was dying. After, I'm not exaggerating, 15 minutes, I thought, I hope the class is halfway done at least. Like, I was done. I looked at the clock, no. Only 15 minutes had passed. My body was like, what are you doing? It's been 3 weeks since I worked out, so needless to say, I'm in a little bit of shock over here. We actually had a very eventful weekend. We did a lot of stuff. And the house is definitely in a little bit of disarray because, you know, we were out most of the time, which was nice, spending time with the family. That's what it's all about. Actually, oh my gosh, I have so much to catch up on with you. Avalina went on a trip, so I brought her to the airport and I was like crying after I dropped her off. I couldn't even believe it. Because of a lot of things, not just like, oh, she's going, so it's just like so many mixed emotions. And then I don't know, maybe I'll share it with you. It's like short story long. I'm literally tripping over stuff. It's no big deal, it's fine. I'm going to be fine. And today I'm gonna try to get back on track with like, I have a whole meal to prep tonight. It's a marinade. It's gonna be a really great recipe too. Well, hopefully. I'm making 3 recipes at least, and then I think I'm going to prep some energy balls, which I haven't done in forever. And one of the most exciting things, you guys know I wait for this time of the month every single month. Actually, ironically, it is that time of the month for me, which I kind of attributed to my horrible workout this morning. But my, whatever this is called, Magic Candle Company package came in the mail. I've been waiting to open that with you. And honestly, I don't know how many months I paid for, but I feel like I shouldn't be still getting them unless they're like charging me again. I don't know. I haven't looked. And actually, Eleanor is going on a trip today too. And then Wentworth is on a trip today with a friend. And then later this week, he's got a sleepover field trip at the aquarium, which is so cool for them. Avalina did it and Eleanor was unable to do it because of COVID, but I'm really excited that he's gonna do that. But this is a big week for the kids and oh my gosh, I just feel like maybe that's why I'm having a hard time. We can ignore the mess in the back. It's not that bad. We've seen worse. And I'm gonna hydrate a little bit with my Element. Huge thanks to Element for sponsoring this video. Huge thanks to you for supporting me when I have sponsored content. There's always a deal involved for you too if you're interested in my favorite hydration stick. So many reasons why this hydration mix is my favorite. And there's so many reasons to take it. Obviously, I work out, so I'm losing nutrients that way. When we're sick, we lose nutrients that way. When we're pregnant, breastfeeding. But it's for everybody every single day because we all have to hydrate, right? It purifies the soul. And drinking something like an Element can improve hydration, give you some increased energy, reduce muscle cramps, and enhance your mental focus, which is definitely something that I need. And it does that by replenishing essential electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And this has the perfect science-backed ratio of those 3 nutrients. Did you know that sodium and potassium are actually the most important electrolyte minerals when it comes to hydration? Yeah, I didn't either until I was reading the Drink Element website that offers so many science-backed research articles that you can learn about and see what it's all about. There are so many benefits in this and I really feel a difference when I drink this stuff. I also love it because there's no added junk in here. There's no artificial ingredients, no like weird colors, no fillers, no gluten, only the good stuff. And like summer's coming up and it's really important to hydrate during the summer months as well, especially like I live in Florida, so even though it's not summer yet, it's really hot, 90 degrees. I drank it yesterday while we were at a water park. I knew we were gonna be running around, and especially when you're in water, you don't realize like how hot it is and how much I'm sweating. It's good to replenish those like electrolytes and nutrients so I'm not dehydrated throughout the day chasing after the kids, you know? And if you want to, you can try it risk-free. There is a no questions asked money back return policy. They have a lot of flavors. This one is my favorite, the watermelon salt, but they also have a citrus salt that is my second favorite. Raspberry salt is right beneath there. But they have a lot more grapefruit salt. They've got like a chocolate and a few in between orange. They've got several flavors for you to choose from. And if you want to try all the flavors, you can get a free sample pack with any purchase if you use my link in the description box below. So that's a really cool deal, so you can try out all the flavors and see which one is your favorite. The link is below. It's drinkelement.com/thewads, drinklmnt.com/thewads, and that'll get you that free sample pack. And I think you're going to enjoy it just as much as I do. Okay, so busy weekend. I'll tell you about it, but let me open that package first because I've been chomping at the bit. I also got a few essential oils when I placed my Thrive Market order, I don't know, last month. But I use those in the bedroom. It's like, they're like good night oils, and I feel like those are better, especially when they're closer to my kids and like we're sleeping. I don't know, I just feel like they're better for us than like the fragrance oils that really make my house smell so much better than those things. But I got like good night stuff. So these, oh my gosh, summer scents. I'm feeling the summer vibes. I really like it. I think I've had this one before. Pineapple Whip smells exactly like you would imagine. Oh my gosh, I have to brush my teeth. I just ate lunch, which were leftovers from last night. We went to Cracker Barrel. Oh, my children have no chill at Cracker Barrel. They just want all the toys. I'm like, this is why we don't come here as often as I want to. Anyway, it was delicious. I got a salad, like a big salad with like chicken. I had no idea what to get. It was good, but I just had the leftovers and I took my teeth out to like, you know, eat. So now I have to brush them. Hopefully I don't have food in my teeth. I haven't even checked. I was gonna refresh for you, but I haven't done that either. Walter's Office. I think I have a couple of these. Lame. I think they gave me a Walter's Office in my first like monthly box. So they gotta get it together. Has it been a year? I don't think so. I think I only got 6 months. And then this one is something Riviera. I can't see anything. This one just smells like pineapple. Everything smells like pineapple. Yeah, ooh, this one smells nice. I'm not sure I have that one, so that's cool. And then Sea Salt, perfect summer scent. Ooh, I really like that one. Ooh, it's gonna make me sneeze. It's so windy outside. All the windows are like cracking, so that's fun. No one can resist the worms. Here are the 4 scents in order of least favorite, and then all 3 of these tie for first. I really like them.
I really like them too.
You do?
I really like them.
These are my favorite.
Do you say to it?
Yeah, which one is your favorite?
Purple.
You like that one?
Actually, I like. Can I grab this and this?
What year is it? I feel like so much has happened. So I'm gathering all the ingredients to throw the marinade together for chicken tonight. It just, when I do something like this, whether it's throwing a crock pot meal in or making a marinade, interrupted again, I don't even know what I was saying. Something about throwing dinner in. Oh, to make sure that we have dinner tonight, even on busy nights. You know, sometimes when it's later in the evening and the kids are finishing up sports, they're like, hey, can we run by, enter any restaurant / fast food? And I say no, 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 until they wear me down enough. And eventually I'm like, okay, like that kind of sounds like a good idea because I also don't feel like making dinner. But when I have something prepared, then I'll guilt trip myself like, oh no, we've got dinner at home. Oh, I've already got it going, or you know what I mean? It really adds up. And speaking of, Wolfgang got into the Oreo cookies that I bought because, okay, I was about to buy the yogurts, like the flip yogurts, you know, the Chobani's, whatever. It has like a little bit of yogurt and then like the little flip of probably half an Oreo crushed up. So I was like, these are expensive. Sometimes I buy them for convenience and when they're buy one, get one free. But alone, it's nearly $6 for 4 of them. And I'm like, this is insane. So I just bought some Oreos. We've got vanilla yogurt in the fridge and I can just create their own. Even if I'm packing it in the lunch, I can just put a little bit of Oreo in like a little container. Sometimes we do the M&Ms. And you know what? I only have one like, small container like this, and I think it came in something where I had like a salad container that I don't even know where it is anymore. And that was probably for the dressing. Which honestly, like if you're packing a humongous salad, then I need a little bit more to it.
Anyway.
Hi, welcome back. Okay, I'm going to throw this marinade together, and it is for coconut grilled chicken. And you know what got me on this? Oh my gosh, well first of all, summer, and I was going to make this yesterday, and I didn't because I just like getting ready to like go on an outing for the day. I'm like, it takes me so long to like pack and get everyone ready and stuff. I don't know if this bag is big enough. One of the restaurants we really like going to has like a coconut balsamic dressing for their salad. And when I tell you, it's like one of the best things I've ever had in my entire life. So I just kept thinking of that. Not that we've had it probably a year ago. I was like, man, that sounds so good. So I just started looking up coconut recipes and I found this marinade and then the white coconut cake that is al dente supreme, so good. I'm gonna throw that together, and then Hawaiian rolls, I think is what I printed out. Yum! So I'm excited to throw that one together. They're all macro-friendly food recipes, which is something, it's like a goal of mine, just like a small goal. I just need to get back into eating more protein and just better. Okay, I've got a chunk of chicken thighs in there. That's a lot. Yeah, this is way too much. We'll have leftovers. It'll be great. It's gonna be great. So I'm gonna throw in half a cup of cocoa aminos, but I'm actually just gonna do the rest of the jar because I have a lot of chicken in there. And then, I don't know, just like a little bit of honey in here, a little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of coconut milk, maybe like a cup in here. And we've been drinking this coconut milk like crazy. I don't know, Alex read something about almonds, which we've been drinking for a long time, and almond milk can cause inflammation. I don't know, these days I feel like everything causes inflammation. And then just a little handful of brown sugar in here. And to wrap that off, I'm going to add a little bit of water. Hold on, something. All right, here we go, that's good. Oh, there's actually one more thing I have to add. Hold on, hold tight. An onion! And you know what? I really like this recipe because I had all of these ingredients on hand, and I've just really been trying to work through whatever I have in my pantry and freezer and fridge before I have to go do a meal plan and grocery shop, which will inevitably probably happen in the next couple of days. I'm gonna do this whole onion because it is so teeny tiny. I'm just gonna dice it up. Yeah, this is gonna add a lot of flavor. I'm just gonna dump that straight in. Nothing says summertime. Not that it's summertime, I know it's spring. For some of you, like, I don't even know, it might be snowing. Is it snowing still? It's crazy. It was 90 degrees for us this week, so hopefully you got, I don't know, some nice spring weather. This is our spring though, which is nice. And I just feel like anything on the grill tastes so good. So that is the goal. Okay, here it is. Oh, wow. Quick and easy, simple marinade. Oh, you know what? I was going to add some lime in there. I feel like that would be a great addition. Fresh citrus, always elevate a dish, but I didn't do that and I don't even care enough to do that. Maybe I'll add it at the end, who the heck knows. This is getting a little intense for me to look at. Like the bag from yesterday. It's fine, this is just my type A+ personality shining through, and I'll clean it, but I am going to throw together first. I'm gonna shove it all out of the way. I'm gonna make the cake because it has to cool before we eat it. I don't know where I put the recipe though. Yeah. Ooh, this one's good too. And I also have all the ingredients on hand because last time I made this, white cake mix was buy one, get one free. So I got 2. It calls for water, but I think I'm gonna do coconut milk. Yeah. Add that right in. Just give it like an extra oomph of that coconut flavor. I was just emptying a bag. I had to bring the kids, who did I bring? Avalina. Oh, she needed a bigger suitcase. So I brought her to Marshall's, TJ Maxx, I don't know, probably both of those places. She needed a couple of things for her trip. And I got a top coat for my nail polish. I haven't painted my toes in like 5 years. So I was like, oh, I need a top coat, okay? Because I don't mind dried out, it's been so long. Anyway, I clearly bought it. And it's not on my toes because I looked everywhere for it, couldn't find it. Guess where it was? Last place I looked, that's right. Unreal, I can't even believe that happened. Wait, where's the cake mix? It's right where I left it. Oh, whoa, I need one more thing. Coconut extract. I hope it's still good. Does extract expire? I just asked Google if this expires, and it says it has a shelf life if it's closed, like unopened and stored in a dark spot. But this is open. I'm gonna use it anyway, I don't care. Alrighty then, let's pop in the white cake mix. This is the one I'm using. It was buy one, get one free. I don't know, use any brand that you like. I feel like I've even done this with gluten-free white cake mix, but the great thing about this cake recipe is that it has protein in it. I think there's like 9 grams per slice, and I typically eat like, I don't know, about 4 slices at a time, but it's nice and light. You'd never know that it was like a healthier, lighter version of a cake. It just tastes really great. And it's like healthier for you and all that good stuff. So I am going to add a couple scoops of the protein powder, any protein powder that you like. And then I have this like sugar substitute. I feel like in the past I've made this with normal sugar, and it does obviously change the macros up a little bit. If you don't care, I don't care. I'm gonna throw a half a cup of that in. That was actually a mistake. What do I need this for? What recipe do I need this for? Oh my gosh, I'm crying. It's not on here. Why did I buy this? What is it? The Hawaiian rolls. Oh, I'm so mad. Not only because, why? But secondly, it's expensive. Oh my gosh. What do I do? Okay, well, it's gonna be extra sweet. Fine, that's fine. It's okay, it's okay. I think I can like get it out. No? Okay. Nope, that's not gonna happen. A little dash of coconut extract in there. And then I'm gonna throw in 1 cup of Greek yogurt. Instead of using oil or anything, this is a great substitute. It's just plain Greek yogurt, so it just has that extra protein in here. And then 1 cup of coconut milk I'm gonna throw in. I'm just gonna whip it all together. You guys have seen me mess up just about every recipe I've ever made, and everything always comes out just fine, especially in my last house when my oven would only cook at 411 degrees. You guys know, because every other button on my like digital pad was broken. So 411 was the only thing I could set my oven to for like 2 years. I refused to get a new oven. Joke's on me, we bought one when we moved out, but I loved my stovetop and I didn't want to buy an expensive oven. We were trying to save money for like, you know, a house and stuff. Anyway, short story long, like I cooked everything at 411 degrees and it came out great. So if you ever mess up a recipe, just like, who cares? Keep going. Life goes on, it'll be fine. So to a greased 9x13 dish, I'm just gonna dump the batter in here and then cook it. I actually didn't even write that part down. I assume like 350 for 40 minutes or so. Okay, great news. I just found out Blizzard Beach is open. I feel like during the summertime, it's a water park in Orlando. During the summertime, the past 2 summers we've been there because we like to go to water parks. It's like they have fun, they get to ride rides, but also you're not sweating the entire time. Well, kind of, but you're like cooled down by all the water, which is awesome. The last 2 summers, they've been closed. Or maybe I've just missed it. I don't know, but they're open again. Speaking of, I feel like we got this from Blizzard Beach. We kind of like took it from someone, but not really. Is this Blizzard Beach? Or the other one? I don't know. I don't even know what's in it. I almost drank that. Okay, anyway, but the first time we went, you know, you park somewhere, you put your bag somewhere, and we were there and probably until, oh no, you know what happened? It started raining, and we stayed because I was like, we paid for a whole day, I'm gonna wait for the rain to pass. So we ate lunch at like a little pavilion, waited for the rain to pass. Anyway, people who had a cabana had left, and when you get a cabana, apparently you get like a ton of these cups, which is so random that it happened to be right there. And I just found out about Blizzard Beach and I'm telling you, and I saw the cup. But they left and then someone was cleaning up the tent and they held all these cups, and you know, our family was just sitting there at that point. I think we only had 3 kids, maybe 4. I don't know if we still had Mary. Who knows? Regardless, they said, hey, do you want these cups? They left them and we were like, what the heck, a souvenir! So we took the cups, and we actually used to have a lot of the cups. I've kept 2, I decluttered the rest because we rarely use them, but look at that, we actually do use them. All right, anyway, totally off topic, but there it is, short story long. I've got a mess to deal with, and I'm gonna tidy up this kitchen while the cake is in the oven cooking, and then I'll move on to do some more productive things around the house. Hey, the problem with me moving on and doing some more productive things around the house is that I completely forget about the cake that's cooking in the oven, and it cooked for way too long. I think I ended up folding laundry after this, and I was listening to something, and then the laundry was going on behind me, the washer and dryer, and it just drowned out the noise, and I didn't hear the alarm going off in my kitchen. So that's a note for me in the future to maybe put an alarm on my phone. So I also think I set an alarm for longer than I should have cooked it. So a note to you would be maybe like cook it for 20 minutes or so and then check it at 20, 25 if it's still not done. That's how I do things. I just keep checking to see if it's like golden brown on top, you know, because you don't want to overcook a cake. Then it gets like dense, and no one likes a dense cake. Been at birthday parties with dense cakes, and I gotta tell you, even though sometimes they're cute, if it's not edible, it's a waste of money is all I'm saying, okay? And this one actually, even though I overcooked it, it was still delicious and fluffy. So there's the good news there. There's the silver lining. Even if you do mess it up a little bit and overcook it, it's totally fine. Just like, you know, don't eat the bottom if it's overcooked, if it's like that bad. You know what I mean? Been there before. Anyway, so I'm just tidying up my kitchen for like the 5th time in the same day. And I don't think I put any music on because I kept trying to figure out the song I wanted to listen to, and I couldn't
I couldn't remember. So I just listened to nothing. And the whole time I'm just like racking my brain. Wait, was it this? Was it this? I'm going through some papers that inevitably come home every single week for my kids. And so I was just going through and like, oh, schoolwork, like I don't need to keep this. Let me be realistic. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I keep too much of their schoolwork.
Sure, what happened here, those are all clean clothes. I think someone just emptied them out and to switch the load over, which is fine. I'd rather have a pile of clean clothes than a pile of dirty clothes over here. And we're somewhat caught up on laundry, but like, are we ever really? Anyway, so I wanted to tell you guys about dropping off Avalina at the airport. She's taking a trip to Washington D.C, which is absolutely insane. By the time you see this, she'll be home. And I just love that she gets to have this opportunity. I remember going to Washington D.C. I think I went with, one time we were on vacation visiting family and it was just like a couple-hour drive, so we went there for the day. But Alex and I have actually been to DC several times. Like while we were in college, we were part of the student government, so we went a lot of times to like lobby, and we really got a deeper look into like government and stuff. But can you dig it? We're also able to go and, you know, see the mall and see all the monuments and sightsee on our time off and really explore a lot of amazing things, because there are so many great things to see in Washington, D.C. Anyway, I was driving her to the airport. We woke up at 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning! It was rough, especially since like the night before I went to bed at like midnight. And so I woke up, you know, to wake her up and get everything ready. And when you know it, who else wakes up? Oh, Wolfgang. Of course he does, because he just senses when I open my eyes. And so I took him with to the airport with us, and I dropped Avalina off. Everything went smooth. Obviously, there's like no traffic that early in the morning. But since I had Wolfgang with me, I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna drop her off, like, you know, and let her just go into the terminal. Whereas I was thinking, and maybe if I had more time, I could have done this like parked and then walked her and then like brought her to, you know, the ticket booth and then walked her to where the shuttle is, all the things. But just didn't work out that way. We like ran out of time, and then I just thought, okay, well, I'll just drop her off. Anyway, so I dropped her off. Everything was great. I was like, there is your ticket booth. I saw her group. It was no big deal. I knew she was safe. And I just like gave her a hug. I waved her and I was like, ah! And I saw another family of people that I know, and she walked her son in, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I started to feel guilty, and I saw her take a picture of her son, and I was like, I didn't even take a picture of Avalina because I was just so overwhelmed. The baby was getting upset that I like left him in the car while I was giving Avalina a hug and getting her luggage and sending her off and all that stuff. So I was like, you know, trying to get back to tend to the baby. But then I saw this other mom who I'm friends with like take a picture of her son and like walk her in because another adult was driving and like drove. Anyway, I started feeling guilty. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to be on this trip with her to take a picture of her doing all these amazing things in Washington, D.C. And now I didn't even take a picture of her like at the airport to commemorate the moment. But alas, it's not that important to not have a picture, and it's not that big of a deal. But in that moment, I just felt like an immense amount of guilt, and I had to just remind myself, like, we are different families with a different set of circumstances, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, if I don't have a picture of her, that's okay. She did send me a picture at the airport, and then it just like, it also dredged up a lot from like my childhood, and then I was just getting overly emotional, I feel like. But I was just so happy and proud of her that she is taking this trip. And so I was like texting her, and she actually, and then I felt more guilt. Okay, are you ready for this short story long? She was packing her bags, and she's so independent. She like packed them all, and I made sure I looked through the checklist. I read them off. I was like, okay, do you have XYZ? Let's make sure you have everything you need. I took her shopping, all that good stuff. But I didn't check everything on her carry-on. So she texted me after she went through security and said, oh my gosh, they took my Bath and Body Works set that I got for Christmas. She got a set of 3 things. It was like a body spray, a lotion, and like something else I don't remember. And she's like, oh, they took it. I was like, Yeah, because it's over the allowed, like, liquid amount that you're allowed to carry on, and I just felt guilt again, like, oh, I should have gone through it. And she really liked those things. I was like, we can buy them again. It's no big deal. It's just stuff. Don't worry about it. But then I felt guilt. I was like, oh, I should have, like, gone through her things and, like, I don't know, done better about helping her pack and explaining to her the rules. And, you know, I told her, oh, you have to take your shoes off when you go through security and all this stuff. But it's like, you know, certain things like that just slip through the cracks, I guess, and I didn't explain that to her. And I just felt bad that, you know, she was upset she was without these things that she was expecting to have. Ugh, where are the baskets? And I just, in general, I feel like I've been making mistakes lately. There was something else that happened. Oh my gosh, that's right. Our calendar, I don't know what has been going on with it, but I have missed a couple of things within the past, like, couple of weeks. That have really just, okay, so there was this thing at their school, and I try to go to as many things as I can, like, you know. So there was this thing, and it was just for parents, so it wasn't like that big of a deal, but it was kind of a big transition, because going from like elementary to middle school, it was like an introduction to middle school. And I just wanted to be there, okay? Not that Eleanor was there at all, but I just, you know, it's good to show face and, you know, just get a refresher, even though I have a daughter who went through middle school. And so, like, in the grand scheme of things, this also isn't like a huge deal. But anyway, I could have sworn on my life, again, it's one of those moments, had you asked me, hey, you got that booked on the calendar? Yep, good to go, no worries. No, actually, lots of worries, because I was like, I think that's coming up soon. And then someone had mentioned something about something. And so I was like, wait, did I miss it? So then I looked for it. I tried to look for it on my calendar. I couldn't find it. So I called and I was like, hey, when was that? She was like, oh, it was this Monday. And I was like, oh my God, I had missed it. And I was like, you know what? Like, life goes on, it's whatever, like, what am I gonna do about it now, you know? And she's like, you know, you've been through this, it's no big deal. But it was just something that I wanted to be there for and I missed. So I just feel like things like that have been happening more often than not, and I just feel bad about it. I'm just one person over here. I'm just hanging on by a thread, just trying to do my best. But sometimes it does feel like, you know, time is slipping through our hands and just like going so fast, and how do we make it slow down and enjoy the moments while also like getting done all of the stuff that has to get done, but also making sure that there's enough time for all of the other good and important things, you know what I mean? Like, how do we balance it all? It's such a balancing act, and it seems some days like it's impossible. So I have to remind myself, like, I'm just doing my best and doing what I can when I can. And if things get missed, I'm trying not to like beat myself up about it too much, because things happen. You just gotta keep rolling with the punches. What's that one country song about rolling with the punches? I don't even know. You gotta roll with the punches. What is that, like Sarah something? Jody Messina, is that it? Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for all day. Hey! That we call life. Haven't heard this from the 90s. Yeah. Big blue sky. Down and oh, that's the way it goes. You gotta roll with the punches. That's the way it goes. You gotta roll with the wind blows. You crash, you burn. It's hit or miss. That's the way. Jody Messina! They don't make songs like that anymore, right? Oh my gosh. Anyway, moral of that story, if you're in a funk, just try to disassociate and listen to some music. Try to listen to some really uplifting Jody Messina from 1990 what? Alright, anyway, oh my gosh, did I knock all of this over? What a klutz. I'm going to tidy this place up, get this going, and then I'll move on to the rooms in the house. I gotta tell you, they are certainly needing my attention. Oh, by the way, this is our like trampoline park sock bin, you gotta have one of these in your house, okay? This is an accumulation of probably years worth of trampoline socks. And do you know how much money is in this bin? On probably hundreds of dollars. Each pair is like $3, sometimes more depending on where you go. And if you don't have these when you go to a trampoline park, they make you buy them, which is probably for safety being on the trampoline. It has grippies at the bottom. But anyway, we also went to the trampoline park this weekend. And because earlier that day we had like soccer, a lot of soccer stuff, like game after game. We had 3 soccer games, Avalina and then Wentworth had 2. And then we decided to like take a break, go home, eat lunch. And then we went out for the rest of the evening and they met up with a couple of friends at a trampoline park. And they just love that. Oh my gosh, they love it so much. And I remember the first day of summer last year, which I can't even believe summer is like, it's right around the corner. But the first day of summer last year, we're like, okay, let's kick it off with a bang. Let's go to the trampoline park. It's expensive, so we don't go there often, especially when it's all of us. Oh my gosh, but they've been asking to go. So I was like, okay, everyone grab a pair of socks. And it doesn't even have to be that specific. Like these are Chuck E. Cheese socks. They wore those. It doesn't have to be from that trampoline park, if you're wondering. If you're like, oh, these aren't this specific, they don't care. No one ever has come up to us. But I always like to keep a bin of those, so that's a little hack for ya.
I actually forgot I wanted to tell you about our weekend too at Adventure Island. So I just told you we went to, we had soccer, we went to the trampoline park, and then the next day we spent the day at Adventure Island. And that was so nice and lovely. And I'm trying to do that more and more. Like, I feel like I used to bring the kids to Busch Gardens once a week, okay? And we have passes, and I feel like there are some months that we go 0 times. So I'm trying to be better about that. So, and it's hard because on the weekends we don't want to go because of the crowds. And then it's challenging to go with all of the family members, with all the kids, because their ages are so vastly different. And so accommodating their interests, I'm like, okay, well, we usually just divide and conquer. Alex takes the big kids on the rides because thank you so much. That's a no for me. And then, like, I used to do them when I was little. But now that I'm bigger, oh my gosh, even looking at them, I freak out. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you're going on that. This is so crazy. Especially the roller coasters at Busch Gardens, even the water rides. Like, I remember being 10 pounds, 13 years old, going down the 100-foot open slide at Adventure Island. Like, I had no business doing that. I don't even know if I was 13. I think I had like my 8th birthday there, and I went down the 100-foot slide. They had a 100-foot and a 50-foot, and they got rid of them both, actually, probably for good reason, because man, I'm telling you something. I went down that 100-foot ride, like the slide. It was just a slide. You just climb up and then you slide down. It was terrifying just being up there. But like, once you get up, what are you going to do? Take the walk of shame all the way down? No, you're going to go. And I didn't even touch the slide, man. I was just floating the whole time down. It was terrifying.
Overhead lighting is always so flattering. I did want to put my clothes away. It's like my New Year's resolution and stuff. So I don't even know where to put them. Anyway, so I was getting dressed for Adventure Island yesterday. And okay, so we had originally planned to go Saturday. But then with all the soccer games, we're like, oh, it closes. Like, we'll only get a couple of hours there by the time we go, and just all this stuff, right? So we ended up changing our plans and going to the trampoline park. I already told you. Bathing suit I had packed for that one. It wasn't even, I think I packed like 3 suits. Like, I hadn't even made up in my mind which one I was going to wear. But I did have, I think it's still on the dining room table for when the next day we actually went and I repacked the bag or whatever. Short story long, I did end up wearing the Lily Pulitzer bathing suit. And thank you guys so much for all of the love and support and encouragement to keep it, because in my mind I was like, okay, this is a really big purchase. Like, I don't know how I feel about like the high sides, and it's a little less coverage than I'm used to, but a lot of you were saying how it looked flattering and you should do it, you love it. So I was like, okay, I'll give it. So I ended up wearing it yesterday, and can I tell you the amount of compliments that I got on my bathing? I don't typically, like, no one ever who do you compliment on a bathing suit? But it happened as soon as as soon as I got there. Oh my gosh, I love your bathing suit. Where is it? Is that Cupshe? And I was like, oh no, it's Lily Pulitzer, but oh my gosh, isn't it so cute, the ruffles? And I was like, I love your bathing suit. Is that Cupshe? And then a couple more times, you know, people had stopped me as we were walking around and, oh, that's such a cute bathing suit. I love that. I'm looking for one like that. Where'd you get it? Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. Not only was it a hit with you guys, it was a hit amongst the general public because I don't think I've ever gotten a compliment in a bathing suit before, just from like random strangers going out of their way to say something about it, you know what I mean? So, not that I need a compliment on a bathing suit, but it just goes to show like how cute of a bathing suit that is, and it was the right choice to keep it. But I will also say that while I was going through my bathing suit bin, which I should get rid of some of this stuff, but I don't know, I've got a problem getting rid of bathing suits. Anyway, I kept a hold of this that I had recently got from Target because it's such a cute little sarange and cover up, and I really loved how it looked on the model at Target with her bathing suit on. But the bathing suits that I got, it wasn't the right thing for me, so I did end up returning the bathing suits, but I kept this because I liked it so much. But now I'm like, I don't even know if I'm ever going to wear this, so I'm just gonna live in my closet for a little bit. Oh, but I will say, while we were at Marshall's the other day, I told you I had to go to get some stuff for Avalina's trip, and I did end up finding something for myself. Actually, I think a couple of things, and I almost didn't get it, but it was the second time that I saw it, and I was like, oh, it's still here. Maybe it's just waiting for me to take it home. Let me show you. So we were looking through the clothes. She needed a couple of like skirts and stuff, and I think something else, even though the weather in DC, I'm like, why are we buying a skirt? Like more of a businessy looking skirt, but still the weather, the high is like 48. I'm like, are you gonna wear tights under this? So I did scrounge around. I saw a sweet little Easter dress for Meredith. Isn't this darling? I'm gonna see if she likes it as much as I do. I feel like the material isn't that comfortable, but if she wears like tights under it, I feel like it'll be fine. And then we were looking at the suitcases, and right next to the suitcases were the pajamas, and this was the set that caught my attention. And I don't have any pajamas that are shorts, and you guys know I've been on the hunt for them for such a long time. Now that I'm holding them up, I'm like, are these going to fit me? Yeah, I feel like they will. Okay, we'll see. I haven't tried it on yet, but I just thought this was such a cute set. It's Kate Spade. Sorry, who? Which, by the way, at Adventure Island yesterday, you know, like we have our beach bags, and I see a bunch of different styles of beach bags. I'm always looking out, and actually Life with Lainey recently posted, like she tried, I don't know, 15 beach bags from Amazon and posted the top ones and details about them and whatever. So anyway, I have one of those beach bags, by the way, because I think she posted it last year, and I bought her top pick. I actually don't love it as much as a couple of the other bags that I saw her pick, so now I'm like eyeing a different one. I was like, I'll just use what I have because it's been working out just fine. But short story long, we were putting our stuff down, and right next to us, because you know, when you go to Adventure Island or water parks or whatever, you just plop your stuff down and cross your fingers and hope that no one messes with your stuff. It's like an unspoken rule. You respect other people's belongings, okay? You don't bring anything like valuable. They also have lockers. Besides the point, this woman, for her beach bag, she had some towels in there, because like I wasn't scrounging around, but I could see the towels poking out, sunscreen, whatever. Kate Spade bag. I'm like sitting there while the kids are eating a snack. I'm like waiting for this woman to come over. I'm like, are we gonna be future best friends? Do I have something to learn from this woman? Because I already think she's the woman across the room. Haven't even seen her. I just know that she uses a Kate Spade large tote as a beach bag. And I was like, luxury living at its finest. Anyway, this one has like gardening stuff on it. Not that I garden, but maybe inspiration. I thought that was, you know what my weakness is? Hand soap. Hand soap is my weakness when I go to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, whatever, and I feel like I've done a pretty good job of not buying it. Anyway, so I need like more hand soap, you know what I mean? So I got this. I'm a sucker. I just smell it all. I like the foaming ones for the kids. bathrooms, and actually they just ran out of some. It's a useful thing to collect. We do probably have more than enough hand soap that I don't need any, but I do like the foaming hand soap, and the scent of this is like honey sunflower. I just thought it was really cute. And then I saw these on clearance, which I normally get from Thrive Market, but I can't beat this price of $4.50 for this. We use it as bubble bath. I use it on shampoo for my little ones. Well, really just Wolfgang now at this point. It's a 3-in-1 soap and it is awesome. $4.50, I was like, get in my cart immediately. And then the last thing I got for myself was this. Who am I? Honestly, this smells, I just washed my hair so I don't need any product in it. Probably gonna waste $2 worth right there. Oh my gosh, it smells so heavenly. Eleanor loves the Amika products. I do not love the price. And this was $20, but I looked it up and at Ulta they sell it for $40. So I almost didn't buy it, but then I was like, ooh, maybe I will buy it because it is a bargain. And I actually do use dry shampoo and mine's almost all used up anyway. So I was like, okay, it's useful. But they had a ton of Amika products that you don't only see at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, that kinds of thing. But they had like hair masks and some kind of like heat spray, and I was like, I don't even. Anyway, that's everything that I got. I was really excited about those pajamas. I'm just gonna use this as like perfume. It smells so good. They should make a perfume. They should make a body mist out of it. I bet they have some. It's probably like 60 bucks. Well, here's the news on the cake. I burnt it. It's actually, it could be worse, but it's fine. I had it in the oven and then the timer was going crazy and I needed more time, so I was trying to tell it to stop, but it was after I had already set another timer for it to go a little bit longer, so it stopped both the timer that was going off and the timer that I was setting, because I had told it to stop like 100 times and I felt like it wasn't listening to me like everyone else in my life. But here we are. It's fine. I'll finish that cake up. But I wanted to throw together the Hawaiian rolls. So for this, it calls for pineapple juice, and I just thought that was fun. And I love having these little cans in my pantry because I feel like some of the recipes on macro-friendly foods call for just a random amount of pineapple juice, and I don't want like a huge carton all the time. Turns out I don't want a small carton all the time either. Half a cup of that, and then half a cup of water. And I'm gonna microwave this for like 30 seconds. So this is, ooh, nice and lukewarm, I suppose. Actually, it's a little too warm. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm going to add, this is where I need half a cup of the erythritol sugar, and this is just what I like to use. And then 1 tablespoon of dry yeast. And I'm gonna set it aside for about 10 minutes just to let the yeast proof. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna mix together some other ingredients. I'm going to throw in a 1/4 cup of butter and I'm gonna melt this. To the butter, and I have this in like a mixing bowl, so I can just attach the dough hook and it'll do most of the work for me. I am going to add some salt, and I'm like out of salt. How did that happen? I feel like I bought 100 containers of salt last year. Then I'm gonna beat 2 eggs in here. Just give them a little toss. All right, the yeast is nice and frothy, nice and bubbly, so I am gonna add it to this mixture. It hasn't been a full 10 minutes, but I can tell that it's active and it's good to go. It's actually been a really long time since I've made a yeast dough, like a quick yeast dough, which is really nice. Oh my gosh, just the scent of the yeast. I'm like, yeah, give it to me. You know, we had biscuits. We had biscuits yesterday at Cracker Barrel, and my kids just sinking gobbled them up. I don't know what they put in their biscuits. I have never been able to make a biscuit as good as what they have at Cracker Barrel, like ever in my life. Even with like Bisquick or something, even homemade, like it just doesn't compare. Okay, to this, I'm gonna add 4.5 cups of bread flour, and this is the kind that I use. I just get it from Thrive Market, and I really like it. I don't know, I use it for my sourdough as well. It says to add it 1 cup at a time, but I feel like this is fine. I'm just gonna mix it until the dough is nice and doughy, until it forms a ball. Okay, my mixer is like malfunctioning. It won't stay locked, which is actually kind of annoying me. I tried to like tighten the thing, it's not working. So anyway, it looks pretty soft. It's looking like a pretty good looking dough, right? Okay, I'm gonna plop that down, cover it up until it's doubled in size. Here we go again, a little bear hug, there we go. About an hour to an hour and a half, but it's warm here in Florida, so probably closer to an hour. Since the girls left on a trip and they won't be home for a few days, I figured I would give them a little treat and let them come home to a clean bathroom. What is happening in here? What is happening? I don't ask questions. Actually, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the enormous shell collection that Eleanor has. Oh, I think she packed her brush. She made a sweet little brush and someone commented like, oh, Shellenore's collections or Shellenore's boutique or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. A play on words of like Eleanor and shells. She loves collecting them and she loves the beach more than probably anyone I've ever met, including one of my aunts. So anyway, I'm going to tidy this space up for them and then probably go to the smaller kids' rooms and just tidy up in there a little bit too, but I'm getting texts.
Okay, spoiler alert, I did not go to the smaller kids' rooms. I wanted to, but then they came home from school and I was like, okay guys, why don't you, when Wentworth tidied up his own room, Meredith, that little Meredith, she tried to tidy up. Wolfgang was playing in there and every time she would try to I was like, well, tidy up the toys that he's not playing with. Oh my gosh, kids are so funny. So anyway, she did a little bit, but then she had a friend over later that night and they just, okay, you know how when a new friend comes over, well, she's been over a few times, but they just want to explore and go in everything and, oh, what's this in this bin, in this basket, and oh, you've got dress up, let's pull it all out. And it's the dress up, and I should really pare it down, but I don't want to pare it down because she really does wear all the dresses, and she has a few different sizes for a few different like cousins who come over and play dress up with her. So I like it, and she does have a ton, and when it all comes out, it looks messy. But at the end of the day, it's really easy to just tidy up and throw, and like I just shove it all into a really big, like we've got like a tote bag for it. So it looks messier than it actually is, but I'm okay with that. But I didn't go in there. What I should have done was tidied up the big kids' rooms, and I might do that later today. Before they left, you know, when you're packing and some things they left in a disarray, and I think I should go in there and spend like 10 minutes in each room just to like tidy up and vacuum and sweep and, you know, do all the little things that they left behind that really aren't that big of a deal. And then I moved into this bathroom, so I just wanted to give them a quick wipe down. And actually when Meredith had her friend over today, they were doing potions and lotions in the sink, and I'm just like, you know, as long as you're having fun. She's got her stuff in her bathroom that I have approved for her to like do that kind of stuff with. So you know, what kid doesn't like making a bunch of potions, you know? So they had fun doing that, and they kept themselves occupied and busy, and they were playing nicely with Wolfgang too. And I was like, this is great, you know? This is when the second part of motherhood really begins, when you don't have to hover over them every second, you know? So that was nice. I got to, mingle, I guess, with other guests. So that was cool. Okay, I moved on to making the rest of dinner. Wait, what night is this? What day is this? It doesn't matter. I'm making the corn salad. It is so good. It's one of my favorite salads for when the weather is warming up, or even if it's not. It's just really refreshing, and it's easy to throw together. I don't measure anything. I don't follow like the proper measurements. I think it's like 4 cups of corn. I use frozen corn. I thaw it out a little bit. It's fine. I cut up a cucumber and I cut up a red bell pepper. I also have a bundle of cilantro. I just grabbed a handful off of that, throw that in. I forgot to get, because I did have to go to the grocery store for this stuff because I have like nothing fresh in my fridge right now. I did have to get those ingredients, but I forgot green onions. So add green onions. It makes such a difference. Couple tablespoons of olive oil, couple tablespoons of red wine vinegar, some garlic. I didn't use fresh. I just used powdered, salt and pepper. So simple. It's like a little vinaigrette I throw together, and it's so good. I throw some feta cheese on there, and I'm telling you, it's like, oh my gosh, I could eat it all day. I could eat it all. And I basically pretty much did, but it's always a hit whenever someone else eats it too. And then for the rest of the cake, and I'm sorry I didn't like clip this all together. I've been trying to, when I make recipes, like make them, you know, show the whole recipe all at once. But at this day, just, I don't know, the way it rolled along. So I just threw the Cool Whip on top of it, like 1 container of Cool Whip, and then some shredded sweetened coconut flakes on top. I don't measure that. I just sprinkle it on. It's so superior than any other cake I've ever had. Actually, I mean, especially when you're talking about a protein cake, I think there's like 9 grams of protein in each slice. So that's so nice. So nice in each slice. And I realized that some of the dishes that I had put away, they're kind of like not so clean. So I was like, okay, I think I need to clean the trap. And yeah, what the heck? I think when we made spaghetti one night, a pan got put in here that had a lot of spaghetti sauce in it apparently because it was trashed. So I just cleaned that up real quick, rinsed it out. It's really easy to clean. I rinsed out the bottom of this as well. So don't worry. It's all clean and tidy for the next load going in. And I'm just finishing up the dishes and the rest of the kitchen before I finish up the dinner rolls and everything else for dinner, which was so good, by the way, this night. These are the dinner rolls. I just cut them up into like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15? 12 or 15. I can't remember. I didn't even do them properly. You can get this scale out and like weigh them out so they're actually the same size, but I just I don't know. I just cut them into little balls, rolled them up, threw them in the pan. I did grease the pan, and then you cover the balls once they're in the pan, let them rise for another 30 minutes, and then I threw them in the oven. Oh gosh, what was it? Probably 350. Not very long, maybe like 15 minutes, something like that, until they're nice and golden brown on top, and then I brush them with a little bit of butter. But anyway, this dinner was so delicious, and I didn't even have to make the rolls. The kids really enjoyed them, and they were super nice and fluffy, which was a nice little treat. The chicken was the main star of the show, and I really think any chicken on the grill, here it is, so good. Oh my gosh. Even the leftovers the next day, I'm not exaggerating, you guys. I was so hungry. I realized, I should have eaten like probably an hour ago, and I didn't. And I pulled it out of the fridge, didn't warm it up, didn't get a utensil, literally sat down on a stool, not even a proper chair, ate it with my hands, with my fingers, felt like a barbarian, but I was like, yeah, this tastes so good. It doesn't even need anything to it. So anyway, we had a couple of pieces left over, because the big kids were gone, which is so crazy that they are on their trips and like not here. So we did have some leftovers, which, sometimes that happens, and it's always nice to have lunch for the next day. So that's good. But anyway, I wanted to show you a shot of the rolls, and then I'll show you a shot of the cake. Showed you the dinner for the day. Oh, it was so good. If you have a grill, the George Foreman can't even touch what a grill can do. You know what I mean? Those char marks. So good, el dente, if you will. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. Don't forget to check out Element. Drinkelement.com/thewads will give you a free sample pack with any purchase. So good. I'll see you next time. Bye.